Hello, friends. Welcome back to the Korenna Aster. We are the Answer Astrology community. And yeah, again, the answer is the geese, the Greek term of answer, and that is about community to me. And it's about bringing people to community. This is my online community, part of my online community. I have other things I teach and do, of course, but I am so glad that you're here with me and welcome back. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and please let me know what you think of the energies. If you are noticing anything with the alignment, I do read everybody's comments. I try to get back to everybody. It really means so much to me. So thank you again for being here. And yeah, I am going to be so a couple of things. I am a Chinese astrologer and I'm a sidereal Vedic astrologer. So this is going to be a little different if you haven't been to my channel yet, but yeah, it's going to be really fun. So we are just moving into here on January 5th into the Yin Earth Ox month. And so this is, yeah, the Ji Earth, the Yin Earth Ox. And so what does that mean? Well, the energies have changed into an energy of really a practical, hardworking energy that is very, yeah, present and focused on like planning and realistic things, realistic goals. It's a very stabilizing energy, but it also means that we really need to be stable and find things to plan and to stabilize ourselves for the coming year. So, as I have mentioned before, if you are new to the channel, you may not know, but I've been talking about this since October. So, in October of every year, the energies for the coming year, for the new Chinese year, they start to come in a little bit. So we start to feel the energies. And so you can even, again, like I've mentioned before, look back and just see if you notice that it didn't feel as heavy of shedding of the skin of the snake. Maybe, the growth was earlier in the year. I know everybody, it's different for everybody. I mean, I know some people watching, unfortunately, had a really difficult December. So, much love. And that is, always going to be affecting some people, right? And so there's always all these personal aspects, and it depends on the animals in our chart, which ones are more difficult, and what things we might be faced with that, yeah, could be more of a hardship. So, and I'm always here to guide you if you want to learn, yeah, how to plan best, like how to find your most successful days if you're a business owner, how to know how to plan things through tragedy and or success, whether it's birthday, fun, weddings, all the wonderful special things, a big special, class or announcement. Maybe it's your anniversary for your business. Like if you want to find like your most auspicious dates, finding those best days are going to like really help you to get the most out of your community coming to you. Nothing like makes me more sad and frustrated than people choosing to do a class or an event on a day that's like a really low energy day, or just with some difficult aspects where it's like they're not going to get the turnout. And I know a lot of things are our frame of mind too, and I will say that our frame of mind can in many ways trump astrology. And so with that said, you can have a great outlook. And if it's your personal clash day, especially if it's your clash with your element and your animal, you are still probably going to be faced with some minor challenge. It doesn't matter how happy and positive you are. I have been practicing this for many years. I've been studying Chinese astrology since 2018, when I was introduced from my teacher. And so I know how this works. I have been very rigidly dedicated to it, too rigidly, as I've shared with some of you before. I've become less rigid. So I'm really proud of that progress, but gotta laugh at myself about that. But anyway, that's a side note. But yeah, so, anyway, I'm just saying that like the energies, no matter what, like we can, and again, I wasn't ever like, oh my gosh, it's my clash day. Like, something terrible is going to happen. Like, I wasn't like that, but I used to be like, oh, I can't really plan anything hardly. And now I'm like, okay, like certain things, obviously, I'm not going to plan, and other things, it's like it's okay. Sometimes on a partial clash day, I could still host a class with a friend of mine that it's not their clash day, and that can be still an empowering thing because their energy is offsetting it, and it's not just our event. That's still not ideal, but anyway. So I would love to guide you, whether it's again for a mini Chinese astrology reading, a full reading, a relationship reading, or if you want to know all of the dates, your best days, and what are the all the days that are your health days, your wealth days. I have a whole package that you can get for the entire year to find out what your days are. So I will put the links to all that below, and yeah, you can check that out on my website, and I'd love to support you there. So anyway, yeah, back to this Yin Earth Ox month. Um, Basically, what I was trying to say is that we are going to want to really put a lot of structures in place to make sure that we don't burn out, because this coming year, as you all have heard, is the Yang Fire Horse year. Now, I've said it before, the horse has fire within it. It is Yang Fire, and it's the Yang Fire. So we've got, yeah, the double fire. That's why I'm saying, what are we going to do to not exhaust ourselves this month? So this is going to be a very important month to most likely go within and really, like I mentioned to a friend this weekend, I was like, I'm tending my inner fire. She'd been doing the same thing. So, if you are doing that, and again, some days it's good to get out. I mean, it's not like we need to hole up completely in the winter. I can be very sociable in the winter, and also, just need to always listen to our intuition and know that it's okay to say no and back out of things. Like there was a friend gathering this weekend that I really wanted to go to, and it just wasn't aligned, and I listened to my body, and I wasn't feeling sociable, so I didn't go. So, I think, again, giving yourself permission to say no, and or say, I changed my mind. Or like when I say, if I'm going through a time where I'm feeling a little bit more inward, I'll say like, hey, I would like to come, and I don't know for sure that I'm going to make it, but just know that, that sounds great. And, so you can just be a maybe, and people totally get it. So yeah, I think that's always important, but especially in the winter, as we're finding that balance and going within. This is the element of water. Water is about intuition. So again, we are wanting to listen to our intuition. And so, yeah, this month begins on January 5th. As I'm filming this, it's a Monday, and it is the Yin Earth Rabbit Day. And so, the Yin Earth Rabbit, we're probably going to feel like hunkering at home. I'm actually creating this video later than I wanted, and that's okay because, as I always say, better late than never. So, the moon is in Cancer. So, yeah, the rabbit energy, the Cancerian energy, it's all about the home. Like maybe we're cooking some food, maybe we're just snuggling with our pets or our partner if we have one. But yeah, it's definitely a day to kind of cozy in and up. There is some things I want to talk about. Actually, let me share with you my screen so that you can see. I'm going to look at the sidereal chart now so that you guys can see what is happening. And let me get it back to, I forgot to put it back to the 5th. Okay, and then also I would love to hear where you're from. So if you want to share in the chat, yeah, where are you from? I mean, I know some of you, so some of you are always so awesome listening to me every week. I really appreciate you. And oops, I shared the wrong screen. One second. So, of course, I know where you're from, but yeah, I'd love to hear anybody new, or if you haven't shared before, I would love to know where people are from. So, I am in Mountain Time. I am in Boise, Idaho. So, this is according to that. Again, in the sidereal system, the sun went into Sagittarius on December 15th. So we are still in the Sagittarius season. Yes, we have this beautiful stellium in Sagittarius of the sun and Venus and Mars. and Mercury. Sorry, all of these are there. There's this, that's the stellium. So all of this energy in Sagittarius. And as I've shared before, Sagittarius is the philosopher, it is a teacher, it is a truth seeker. And there are a lot of truths coming out, and I am going down some really fun historical rabbit holes that is just exciting and blowing my mind and super cool. And if you want to know more, feel free to message me. But that is a whole nother tangent that is not about astrology. So, yeah, but it is about the truth. And so it is very tied into this. And that's why I am seeking it out, you know? And so what's really interesting is that we have this opposition with Jupiter in Gemini. So Gemini is about the mind and it's about communication. And so there's an expansion with Jupiter. Jupiter's the great benefic. It bestows blessings. It bestows um abundance. And so this is an abundance of communication, abundance of could be relationships. It can be about siblings. So you could have, if you have siblings, you could have some really lovely relationships with them right now that it's enhancing, which I'm personally experiencing, which is quite lovely. And anyway, even though it's an opposition to the sun, so sometimes, anyway, that can, and this opposition with Mars and Venus, so they're almost all at the same degree. They're not quite, but we will get there. So I will talk about that here soon. But they are, so Mars and Venus and Mercury are all combust right now. So that means that they're all weakened because they are so close to the sun. So even though, we have Mars in this very fiery sign, Venus in this very fiery sign. I mean, yes, these can increase like passion and drive and willpower. And, again, there's kind of a little bit of a dimming of that because the sun is brightening and kind of overshadowing that, so to speak. And even with this communication, but because there is this opposition to Jupiter in Gemini, then it is still enhancing the communication aspect because also Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So we have this mutual reception going on. So really beautiful um, energies of blessings of expansion, of communication, of thinking. So yeah, we are definitely, again, learning some truths, hearing of some things, because communication could come through media, right? And so Mercury can be about media, not just what we're saying, not just what we're having conversations around, but there are those things that are coming out too. So it's really lovely. What else do I want to say? So about this day, and let me take a look at my notes to make sure. Oh, yeah, I mean, I guess the one really lovely thing is that we have this trine to Chiron today. And so with the Chiron, excuse me, the moon being in Cancer and Chiron being in Pisces with this trine, it just is really actually helping us to just feel really nurtured and like our nervous systems could be really in a nice settled space, which again, with that energy of the I wanted to say, yes, it is Yin Earth. Okay, just want to double check because it's a Yin Earth month, and then with the Yin Earth Ox, and then the Yin Earth Rabbit, the G Earth Rabbit, also has this really lovely quality of of just kind of stabilizing energy. And so this is, again, I just feel like this is a really wonderful day. And I think it could be one of the better days to really nurture yourself. I wish I'd gotten this video out sooner, but again, I'm just giving myself grace because here I am. And I actually, so this is a side note, but it is also along the astrology because the astrology was really tough over the weekend. We had our full moon. We're just a couple days outside of the full moon, so we're still feeling that effect. And usually we wouldn't so much, but this was a super moon, and because of again it being um this whole stellium and in the fire sign and this energy with Mars and the sun, I mean, it's just a lot of heat. I mean, there's just a lot of energy that's just kind of made and I talked about it over in my last video, right? But it's just kind of like been like this energy on steroids. And so what's been happening, and I didn't get a chance to talk about this in the last video, but with the energies, it really caused a lot of people to have headaches, actually. And so I have several friends that were having headaches, both both right before or during the full moon, and I was as well. So yes, it can, of course, for us women be related to our cycle, but even so, it can sometimes be related to the moon and specific astrological energies. So it was very much influenced by this heat that can go up to the head, the Mars energy, the energy, the too much thinking with Mercury and Sagittarius, again, is very in our mind. And if when the moon is in Virgo, we will struggle with that a little bit more. We're not there yet. But yeah, anyway. So I'm not going to talk about the past anymore. I already did. But yeah, so people were definitely struggling with that. It was just, there's been a lot of body breakdowns. I mean, a lot of people were sick last week. You were probably one of them. Yeah, type below. I would like to hear if that was something, or like a bunch of people that were sick. Yeah, unfortunately, lots of viruses going around. So yeah, wash your hands really good. All that good stuff, right? Um, but yeah, so moving along, I'm pretty sure that was the last thing I want to say on January 5th. So coming to January 6th, and I love this day because it's my sister and my niece's birthday. And for those of you that don't know, my brother Conrad and I have the same birthday. He was born when I was 6 years old. I got a birthday brother. It's pretty cool. Yeah, we have the exact same birthday. We're 6 years apart, and so I have a birthday buddy. Well, on January 6th, 5 years ago, I had a niece that was born, and my sister, Tamsin, it's her birthday on the 6th, and my niece Ariel, it's her birthday on the 6th as well. So now they have, now my sister has a birthday buddy, so she knows how cool that is. And anyway, giving a shout out. Happy birthday, Tamsin. I know you're listening. Yeah, so it's gonna be a really fun day because the moon moves into Leo. So we're not gonna feel so wishy-washy. We're not gonna be feeling like it's staying at home as much. We're definitely gonna have more energy to get out and be more active or be more gregarious. Now, this is a lot of fire energy. So yeah, lots of energy in the fire signs. We already have this stellium, as I've been talking about. The big things for this day, for January 6th, that one of the bigger things is that K2 and the moon, both in Leo, are yeah, they're not quite conjunct, but they're pretty close. And maybe they are at some point in the day. I wouldn't be surprised if they are, more conjunct. They need to be within 7 degrees to be, but anyway, they're pretty darn close. If they don't actually get there, they will be very close. Anyway, the point is K2 can be about this, our spirituality. Now K2 can have very negative ramifications as well, but I think, overall, like the moon can signify our spirituality and our emotional self, and that can also be K2 as well. So I think this can be really enhanced in a beautiful way, in a way of loving our playfulness, our inner child. So that is something that, just to think about it. May or may not come up this way, but there is the lower octave energy of Leo where it can be very selfish and self-absorbed and like a spoiled brat archetype. So, definitely watch for that. But yeah, what I want to bring attention to is that there is also this square with Uranus and the moon. So there really could be some difficult things that could be kind of taking us all by surprise. And again, we're still continuing to have this expansion of Jupiter in opposition to Mars, Sun, and Venus, and even Mercury, but mostly these three. And yeah, and so there is still going to be, I mean, Mars and Sagittarius could be some warlike energy. I mean, Venus and Sagittarius can be more peaceful, right? But then Mars and Venus, for those of you that have watched me before, you know that I have shared that I had a Mars and Venus relationship last year. And so it was really loving half of the time and then like fighting and warlike half of the time. And that's why it didn't last for more than 6 months because I'm not interested in fighting with somebody and they weren't either. It's like that's not why we wanted to be together. But, the loving Venus relationship that we had was so lovely. So I think there is going to be some tension and pull, and especially in the outer world, especially there, again, this is this sun conjunct with Mars, in Sagittarius, that lower octave energy of Sagittarius, I mentioned it before, is the self-righteousness. So we are going to have to really watch out for those in leadership being that way. I mean, I feel like that is just a common struggle that is kind of constantly going on, in my opinion. And a lot of leadership is just, I mean, we all think we're right. And, we're all right, right? That's my joke in my conscious communication class, but unfortunately, it's kind of true too, right? So, for better or for worse, it is what it is. Um, but yeah, so just it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think there is going to be some struggles this week that, with these lower octave energies of the K2 and this Mars, both in these fiery signs. And we have this grand cross here today. It's almost an exact square. I'm going to go ahead and, oh, and then, sorry, before I go on, I did not talk about the Chinese astrology of this day. So, for continuing still with Tuesday, January 6th, we have a young metal dragon day. I am really excited about this day. Why? Well, many things. I mean, even though there are some hard, difficult things, the young metal dragon is going to really fight for justice. And all of this truth and justice with Sagittarius energy is going to be enhanced. And the dragon gives us that big vision. Dragons are very passionate, they're very powerful, and they really help us to see the big picture. And so, this is an opportunity for us to fly like an eagle, fly like the phoenix, fly like the dragon. Those are all similar archetypes, right? To really be up there in the air and to get that bigger picture on our life and what is important. And so it's also a balanced day. Yesterday, the 5th is also a balanced day. And so this is a good day to yeah, like it could be a good day to start things. It can be a good day to settle things. It can be a good day to, like, if you know that you're kind of on the right side of things, and you can, justice will serve you, in a sense, right? So, for instance, on a balanced day would be a great day to be in a custody case. If you were the one that was, being kind of wronged, and you knew that you were in the right, the side of justice will fall upon you. The energies will bestow you with those blessings. So, but yeah, it's a very high energy day, a 3-star day in the Chinese metaphysical system. It's the highest rating. So, again, just loving this moon and Leo energy, this playfulness, this energy of transformation, of working on that inner child. So again, just bestowing the blessings of Jupiter and communication. Now, this is not a good day to have important conversations where we want to argue or tell somebody how they really need to correct things. Just like I kind of talked about last week, unfortunately, sometimes we have to really take a break from having some really difficult and hard conversations. And this will probably be another of those weeks where you're probably not going to get very far with somebody who you're really butting heads with, or you've really had a lot of challenges with in the past. Um, as much as I don't believe in like holding off for days and weeks, there are just times. And again, I think we can also look at your personal chart and see when it would be a best time for you. But yeah, just saying in general, be very careful and cautious around difficult conversations. And not to say you can't like speak up and speak your mind, but just know that um, just with this Mars energy, you could get your head bit off, and people can be really reactive really fast and just be kind of ridiculous. So it's just something to for us all to be aware of. So yeah, but enjoy this Young Metal Dragon Day. Moving along to January 7th, we are still in this really powerful energy where, again, Jupiter is enhancing this energies. And now we have got to this exact, actually, sorry, let me go back to the 6th, because I thought, okay, it must be later in the day on the 6th that they're all at 22 degrees. I remember them all being at 22 degrees when I looked at this. So it was at a different time frame, but I'm pretty sure that the that exact Kazemi actually starts on the 6th, but I'm seeing it for sure now on the 7th with that 23 degrees. here of the Sun, Mars, and Venus in Sagittarius. So anyway, yeah, again, um, we still have the combust energy of this, and then yeah, I mean, just everything is on the side of the archer, just really keeping that strong vision. And so, just continuing to see that stronger vision. This even though today is now a yin metal snake day, it's a stable day. This could be a really good day to get together with people. um, it's also a really good day to do something that is spiritual. Snake days are always a great day for that. There's a lot of, our wisdom, our intuition is heightened, and yeah, the yin metal is really gonna again be very confident with speaking, and so that's gonna continue to bestow blessings on, just speaking up in a way like we could speak up on social media or something. But yeah, it's, a good day, yeah, to network or get out and meet somebody new or something like that could be really enjoyable because again, the moon is in Leo, and so we're gonna just feel more sociable and more fun and like getting out of our cave a lot. So again, just still enjoying all this fiery energy, but also just knowing that, yeah, all this could be going to our head. So yeah, I mean, I would just say watch out for headaches. And I wanted to share that, I mean, I do talk about things like let's get out and do earthing. And so I talk about reminding us, and I have not been good about doing it every day lately. It is hard in the winter. But we all need reminders, and I need to put a reminder on my mirror, I'm realizing, because I didn't get out there today. But also I was fighting up a headache, and sometimes your brain just doesn't work when you're not feeling good, right? But and that's when we need to do things, and it's also raining part of the day. But anyway, the point is that like, yes, grounding is always something for us to get back to. And one of the things that has helped me with migraines and headaches is to do electrolytes. So getting, some really healthy electrolyte packets and putting that in water. I got rid of a migraine tonight. I was so grateful. I was just like, oh my God. It was like, drink, and I'd been drinking water. It wasn't like I was dehydrated. I just needed the electrolytes. So just a wonderful reminder. If you didn't already know that, a lot of people don't. And I didn't know that until my dad told me about it not too long ago. So yeah. Um, all right, so what else? So, okay, now we have a more exact, here we go. Now we have the exact conjunction, not exact, but very close to an actual conjunction of K2 and the moon. So again, this can be, there could be some negative ramifications. K2 can be a little bit crazy making with the moon, but I do believe that it's actually going to be really a positive one this time around with more of the bestowing blessings because we have that snake day. And so we're going to be in our wisdom more. We're going to be listening to our intuition more. And the K2 and the moon will have this more powerful effect of the spiritual aspect of, again, being more in our emotional intelligence and not being reactive because we also have this beautiful trine bestowing the blessings towards that Mars and Venus and Sun. So thank goodness for this beautiful trine. So I don't think we're gonna have to worry about K2 at all today. Thank goodness. Yeah, that's just a beautiful blessing. So enjoy this day. And now moving along to January 8th, we have come to the Yang Water Horse Day. I'm really excited for this day because it's another powerful day. We have a lot of powerful days in this week, but yeah, it'll be pretty uh I feel like it's going to be a pretty transformative week for sure. So now we have the moon moving into Virgo today. So more stabilizing energies in some sense because it's, an earth sign, which is beautiful. And we could use some more earth in this chart. So, we'll have the moon along with Pluto and in Uranus now to ground us. And, we've had so much of this air and fire and water, but I will say that, Virgo energy is a lot about being in the mind, and we continue to have this Mercury in opposition to Jupiter, which is expanding the mind and thinking. So this could be a day where we struggle to yeah, we could be in negative thinking. We could get into our head and worry, and we could have some, negative ramifications if we're not careful. So just, know that these things could be a possibility. And I like to always start my day with some yoga and creating an affirmation or intention. Usually I'll just pick actually just a one word. It could be an entire affirmation. Sometimes, occasionally it is, but often for me, it's just one word that just comes to me. I just kind of try to see what pops into my head as I'm, finishing or starting my yoga practice. And it's like, you get into this practice, your intuition just knows what the word is. And then it's just like you're by the, even like after you say the word, you're like, oh yeah, I can feel this is going to be the right one. Or you already know, or by the end of the day, you're like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. Like, of course, that was the best word for the day. So, maybe on a day like today, your word is going to be peace, or it's going to be, that I am more powerful than my thoughts, or my thoughts are not me, or something like that. So just remembering some things about, yeah, that words are powerful and thoughts are powerful. And also, like, not every thought that pops into our head is ours, or that we, I mean, we've all like thought things that we're like, oh my God, I can't believe, I mean, I don't think that or feel that or want to think that or ever have that thought in my head again. And so disturbing or disgusting or whatever, so that definitely can happen to any of us. And just throwing that into the little trash can behind us in our mind, however you want to picture that. I'm going to take a sip of water. And yeah, so okay, let me check my notes. So now, but yeah, so I mean, this is a powerful day in the Chinese astrology system because it's a young water horse day. The horses are also really passionate, and the young water is also really, excuse me, like very yeah, they seek a lot of wisdom and knowledge. They can get a little bit emotional, a little bit passionate. Like I said, there, could be a tendency to become a little bit imbalanced. But now the moon has moved pretty far from K2, so we don't have to worry about anything there. Um, I think there can be, again, yeah, a little bit of disillusionment today, though, with the moon opposition to Neptune. So yeah, let's really make sure we get out and do our grounding, really eat healthy foods, whole foods, do some root vegetables, uh, at least snack on some carrots at the very least, or bake some potatoes at the end of your night. Yeah, I would just be really gentle, but also like, it's an initiate 3-star energy day, so it's a high energy day. I mean, horses are sociable, they're popular, they're empathetic. There's so many wonderful qualities of the energy of today that we can be supportive to our friends. It's a protector energy. It's a stabilizing energy. It's a lovely, fun energy in so many ways too. So um we also, what's really strange is that sometimes when I switch the time zone, then things shift. And now, okay, I was like, I couldn't see it for a second because when I was looking at it before, I didn't have the same time zone. Well, we do have a grand trine today with the moon. So as I mentioned before, we have, all these earth signs. Well, what's beautiful is we've got this grand trine between the moon, Uranus, and Pluto. So it's just going to be a lovely day for that energy too. So yeah, I am really looking forward to this day for that. Um, and there is also just, one little caveat to this. Again, we're just, like I said, back to watching our thoughts. We could feel some triggers because Chiron is squaring, this, the three planets here that are the sun and Venus and Mars. And so that means that, we could be, yeah, feeling triggered around our ability to create things and make them come forward in the world, about relationships, about our value, about things, material things, about things that are beautiful, whether we feel beautiful. Uh, yeah, there could definitely be some triggers. So just be aware and take some good care of yourself. Remember all those good things to come back to the body, mind, spirit, and that you are a powerful creator. So just remember that. And you're gonna focus on some, really wonderful vision with that young water horse of like again, like how you want to help people in the world. Um, and just continuing that vision that you had from the Dragon Day and carrying that forward into today with these positive thoughts of gratitude and what you're creating, and you're going to have a great day. Yeah, stay positive. All right. Moving to January 9th, we're on to Friday. Now, Friday is a little bit tricky still too. This is, yeah, I'm thinking I'm calling this the Capow, the the January Capow week. Yeah, it's a little high energy, it's a little intense. It'll be interesting. Now, um, what I like about this day is the Chinese astrology, again, always kind of balances things out. And I think that's the beauty of having two different systems of astrology. I know people who study one system of astrology, and then sometimes they're planning things, and I know that they're using their system and they aren't seeing the Chinese astrology system. And I'm seeing how things are not going to go as planned because they're just not. I mean, Chinese astrology is used for timing and it is amazing for that. Like I said, it is you can calculate, how to get the best results with business or with, successful family days. I mean, I've told my family, I'm like, let me help plan, when we're going to have parties because, Moon in Virgo, not a good day to throw a party. It's just everybody's in their head. Uh yeah. Anyway, I can go on about all these other aspects. So, but yeah, so it is a yin water goat day. And so I love this because it's again, the goat day is about a peacemaking day. And we're really going to need that today because we do have some more of these struggling energies with all this fire sign. And so I think we're going to need it. But the great thing is that it is also called as destruction day in the Chinese astrology system. And so that means it's really good at solving problem. And so we're going to figure this out as a people. And, even though we could still continue to feel some triggers, we could also just feel angry. We could feel like we're not valued. We can feel unloved. There's going to be some different things with, difficult communication. Yeah, I mean, it has been also, by the way, like a Mercury retrograde. If anybody hasn't noticed, like I've been like texting people and they aren't getting back to me, and then I'm like texting them like a day later, like, "Hey, did you get my message?" And then I'm not hearing back. Like, I literally, I don't know. It's like texts are just not going to people, or people are just. It's really strange. And then, yeah, like I mean, people have had flights that are delayed, and just a lot of literally the Mercury aspect has been quite challenging. So just know that, we're just again, as I always say in Mercury retrograde times, like have compassion for yourself, have compassion for others, like just know that everybody's doing their best and that it is definitely yeah, some weird times energetically and we're all feeling it, but also some really good times. So besides all of that, I think, oh, the other lovely thing is that Uranus is trying to Venus today. So this is, where is my Venus? And there you are, Venus and Uranus. Okay. So, or maybe I'm trying to say it's a sextile, not a trine. Um, yeah, I might have wrote down the wrong note here, but that's okay. But yeah, so that's just gonna again be another lovely aspect of enhancing some beauty and feeling more valued. And so I think that will kind of help ease some of today of some of the harder aspects. And so yeah, that's not quite what I was thinking, but so moving along to January 10th, now we are to the Yongwood Monkey Day. And so we're going to be in a much more playful energy. The moon is now in Libra as well. So we're going to be, again, just wanting to seek more balance with all of the aspects that we have been learning and considering in the world. We are going to, want more justice. We're going to be hearing and thinking about more justice. That is definitely going to be on the minds of everybody. And also, we could feel possibly, yeah, more triggered, all of us people around some things that are happening. Again, we have this Grand Cross going on. So what's beautiful is that again, just the truth that comes out with Sagittarius, that is the strongest energy of this because Jupiter is bestowing the blessings because Jupiter rules Sagittarius. And so um, the ruling angle of this is all here. And while, there's some, again, it's kind of a throw of the dice. Like, yes, there's some difficulties with the Mars Venus energy, and yet um, there's that combustion happening. So it kind of helps mellow that out. And then, Jupiter is going to bestow the blessings of communication and the truth seeking and the justice and the truth coming out. So, yeah, and especially with the moon in Libra, so again, we're just having more of this Libra justice, truth, balance coming to light. And even though there's going to be some triggers around that as well. So, and we could feel that more related to being in our homes and whether or not we feel safe at home, possibly. So that could be kind of interesting. I don't know. I'm trying not to make predictions because they're just not very positive, unfortunately. And so yeah, so let me just go back to the Yongwood monkey energy. So I mentioned that, but yeah, so monkey's playful. It's also good at solving problems. So I really like this day. And then also like, with the Yongwood energy, it's also wanting to be a really stabilizing force and be strong and sturdy and and fix things. And so, and it's also a danger day, we call it in the Chinese astrology system. So this will also help us to be able to, yeah, basically we can, have some difficult conversations on a day like today, or we can get through something that's difficult, and or put something out there that, we weren't sure if it was going to be well received, just things like that. We can do a little bit more here today. So yeah, but yeah, it'll be an interesting day for sure. I think that this week will be, like I said, the Capow. Something big is definitely happening. And many of you might know Joni Patry. She's talked about this as well. So, um, I do my own astrology, but I definitely think, she says similar things, and I very much value her expertise and guidance. So I just wanted to, shout out that she's somebody I have studied under with this sidereal system. And so, yeah, just it'll be interesting. So, yeah, let's just hope that, we can really go with the truth seeking philosophical leanings of, being that finding the justice and balance with, finding the truth and with finding that, yeah, we can all have different opinions instead of being in that rigidity, lower octave self-righteousness energy of Sagittarius. So let's pray for that. It would be a really good week to do some prayers. I think I'm gonna, yeah, just suggest that. I mean, now, of course, but yeah, I think, do a little social media blast. And I always suggest like 5:55 every day could be a good time. It's just a number that I really enjoy. It could be a time when we just do a little, even if it's a minute long prayer. Obviously you can find another time that works for you. Maybe it's 12:12, maybe it's, 1:11 or something. So, but yeah, I think it would be a really nice thing for us to really, all of us are spiritual people and, wanting to work on ourselves and help our community. So I think, extra prayers up would be very needed and welcomed, right? For all of us. So, all right, the last day of the week, Sunday. Sunday fun day. We are now with still the moon in Libra. Again, we're continuing with a lot of the same similar energies I've been talking about. So again, there could be still some triggering energies, lots of heightened communication, lots of blessings of whatever is coming through though. And hopefully it's more in the blessings of the truth and justice and yeah, all of that. So, and yeah, it'll be definitely an easier day than yesterday. I think for all of us with the moon placement now, not having this opposition to Chiron, so we can hopefully, I don't know what else to say, but lick our wounds, right? And it's a Yin Wood Rooster Day, so we are going to feel like speaking truth as well, and just really, again, being more social and really talking about things in the world and how to creatively solve our problems, all together. And so this will be, yeah, a very powerful day. It is a 3-star day again, so yeah, lots of really high energy days this week. It's like, wow, really pretty intense. I think, like I said, we're going to just have to do extra self-care to make sure that we, yeah, don't have, again, a bunch of energy up in the head, or like getting angry or getting just flared up from the frustration or even the excitement. There could be some exciting and good things too, like in our own personal lives, even if it's not in the collective. But yeah, let's really keep praying for all the good things, and we will creatively solve things on this day together as people. I'm sure that we will, no matter what, at all times. We always have that power. And so, yeah, I just want to thank you again for being here. Be sure to like this video. Thank you for staying until the end. And I will be back real soon. I'm actually going to do a monthly video. And so I want to talk about each of the elements for this month. And so watch for that as soon as I'm able. Might not be till this weekend, but I'm excited to start doing that every month, as well as the weekly videos, so that you can have a better idea. And then, yeah, make sure that you check your Chinese astrology below if you haven't already. If you don't know your chart, you're not going to get it fully explained to you, but at least you'll know the 4 placements. And again, I do readings. And so, yeah, book your readings below. And I look forward to seeing you next week, if not sooner. And thank you so much. So good to have you here. Have a beautiful day. Take good care. Bye bye.